Before we begin recording this screen, we're going to cover just two general concepts that are basic rules for recording your screen. The first concept is that your native resolution of your monitor is always going to have a major impact on the quality of your video. So if you're recording with something that's under 1920 by 1080p, your quality is never going to be as good as an individual that was recording in full 1080p HD. You can, of course, render out in 1080p having recorded in a lower resolution, but the video quality is always going to be limited by the original resolution that it was recorded in. The second general rule of thumb is that the quality of your audio is always going to be dependent on the quality of your hardware. And what I mean by that is the microphone and anything else that you have within your mic chain, such as a mic preamp or a mixer or an equalizer. Those are all going to have major impacts on how your audio sounds. You can always do a little bit of audio cleanup and a little bit of video cleanup using Camtasia Studio or any other video recording software, but again, you're going to be limited by the original source to some extent. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how we can record our screen. First thing, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and click File and click New Project. And make sure that your time slider is at 0.000 because when we record and we save it, that video is going to get re-imported into Camtasia Studio at the original source. Wherever this slider bar is where that video is going to just plop right into the scene. So if you want it to be right here at the beginning, that's where you're going to want to set this time slider before you select Record the Screen. Go ahead and select Record the Screen. Now you'll notice that immediately after clicking Record the Screen, that Camtasia Studio minimized and the Camtasia Recorder popped up in your lower right hand corner. Now taking a quick look, you can also see that there is this dotted line going across the screen. We're going to take a look at that first. This controls what part of your screen is being recorded. If you see here as I'm scaling down, it's changing what's being recorded. So if I were to scale this down like this portion of my screen is what would get recorded. And if I were to scale it back up, the whole screen would get recorded. Now, one thing you're noticing probably is as I'm scaling, it's always keeping the same width and height ratio as it would be if you were in full screen. So one way you can do is if, let's say, I didn't want to record this bottom bar, I could always unlock the dimensions by coming over here and clicking on this little bitty unlock thing. It's like a chain link. You just click that, and now I can actually drag the bottom and kind of scale that up a bit. And this is good as if you wanted to record sort of a cinema effect. You could kind of go like this and just record a cinema. This would give you like a black bar on the top and the bottom whenever you created your video when you rendered it out. But I'm going to go ahead and leave mine at the full width of the screen. So I'm going to scale it back up. And you can also see that there are some presets here where you can just drop down in this custom area, just open this little window up, and you can select some preset settings. So if I were to select this, it would automatically go to that. And then I could, move the entire window around by selecting this middle bar and just deciding what portion of the screen I wanted to record. Again, I'm going to set this back to 1080p resolution. Another quick way that you can also set that is you can just go ahead and click full screen, and that whatever size your monitor is, it will automatically scale this box up to fit the full screen. I always just leave mine on custom and then just set it to widescreen 1080p HD because I'm using a 1920 by 1080p resolution monitor. Now we're going to want to take a look here and decide what do we want to input into this recording. We're already inputting the screen. So do we want to input a webcam? If so, you'd drop down this little arrow, and if you have a webcam, it'll probably pop up a list of your webcam devices, and you can go ahead and just click that, and you'll be able to set where you want on the screen that webcam to appear. I do not use a webcam, so I'm not going to be able to show you that. Maybe when I get one, I'll make another video covering that. Over here, you're going to select your audio device. Most of you are just going to be setting yours to your microphone, which would be the Microphone 3 USB PMP audio device. You would just select that, and now it will actually, you'll notice that next to this bar, this little thing is just popping up and down, and it's actually recording what you're saying. Well, not right now. It's just showing you that you can set the level that this will record what you're saying. So I could drop this all the way down. I'm just going to leave it at max because that's how I usually have this set. As soon as you have these settings set up, what you're going to want to do is hit record. But before we record, there's one important hotkey that you're going to need to know about, and that's F10. F10 will stop your recording. Now I'm going to record a short video And I'm going to make a few mistakes while I'm recording on purpose. I'm actually going to open up my web browser, go to the Brain Poof site, read off a paragraph from the Brain Poof site, and make a few audio mistakes saying words like and just, things that you would want to edit out at the end of your video when you were doing your editing. So let's go ahead and click record. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, we get this F10. It's counting down. As soon as this is done, now we are recording. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Firefox browser, and I'm going to go straight to my website for brainpoof.com. As soon as the website's open, I'm just going to read this first paragraph off. Welcome to Brain Poof. Are you ready to start learning all about 3D modeling, video game design, website development, etc.? Well, it just so happens we're ready to teach you just that. BrainPoof is dedicated towards providing college-level material to its members. We make sure that the courses we provide are easy to follow along with so that anyone can use them. You've come to the right place. Man, what's going on? Hey, leave me alone. Somebody just walked in my room. This is crazy. Virtually. Now, when you're done recording, you can go ahead and just press F10 on your keyboard. This is done. Now we are recording. As you notice, as soon as this window popped up after I pressed F10, it started playing back what I just got done recording. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to save it. So you can actually watch this through. You can click the play button. It will play this all the way through and you can listen to yourself what you just recorded and decide whether or not you want to keep this video and go ahead and start editing it, or if you want to delete it and start over. You can also produce it, which I never really automatically go to producing because I always have a reason. I mean, I always wind up making some little mistake or what have you where I need to take it in and edit it. Or you can throw it directly into production so it would go straight to MP4 or whatever you decide to produce it out to. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Save and Edit. A window will pop up and I'll be able to select exactly where I want to save this. It'll automatically give it a capture, dash, and a number based on how many recordings you have in the folder. I'm just going to leave mine to the default setting and click Save. As soon as I click Save, you'll notice it brought back up Camtasia Studio and it stuck our video down in the timeline so we can go ahead and start working on it right away. So let's go ahead and run through that process once more. But before we do, why don't we go ahead and drag our time slider all the way down to the end. So this way, when we record another clip, it's going to go ahead and drop down here. And this project is still going to be open. It's not going to change. We're still going to have the same project with the same media that we just recorded, and it will still be down here in our time slider, but we'll have another video appended onto the end of it for what we're about to record right now. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here and just click record the screen. Notice that the window dropped down and we should have the Camtasia Recorder, which will be right over here. If yours didn't come up, it should be on your taskbar. Just click the white C and you'll see your window will come back up. And let's just go ahead and click record again. This is the second clip that I'm recording, so I can show how we can do transitions from the first clip to the second clip. I went ahead and I opened up the Brain Poof YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to this, product placement. But anyways, be sure to subscribe to this. I opened this up so I can show you how we can transition from one video to another video. And we can also edit and do transitions within a recording. And we're going to check that out. So as soon as you're done recording, go ahead and press F10 on your keyboard again. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this, otherwise it will deafen us all. And you'll notice the window came back up and it wants to know if we want to play this, listen to it, decide whether we want to keep it or not. If you want to keep it, you just click Save and Edit again. Again, the window will pop up and I'll just click Save. And there it is. Now it's already tagged on to the end of the previous video and we're still in the same project. Now, before we go any further, let's go ahead and save our project now that we have all of our recordings. So I'm going to go ahead and click File, Save Project. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Camtasia Studio folder and I'm going to select Camtasia Comfort. You can save yours on your desktop if that's what suits you. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder for this recording. I'm going to call this 02, press Enter, and I'm just going to go ahead and call this Camtasia Tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and come over here to the lower right hand. I'm just going to go ahead and click Save. It says you saved your video with a new project name. It's just letting us know that we saved our video as a project, but we have not actually rendered it out to something that someone else could view, such as an MP4. This is useless to anyone else but us on our own computer because we have the source files. So go ahead and click OK. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and start editing out the mistakes that we made in the first recording and take a look a little bit at how we can control our audio before we start fancying up the video with a few transitions, call outs, perhaps a few zoom and pans as well in the video preceding that one. If you have any questions or comments, please post below the video at brainpoof.com.